Hello everybody, welcome to Travel in Taiwan. This time we are going to the East Rift Valley. The East Rift Valley is located in eastern Taiwan and it's a very beautiful place. Let me show you on the map. This is Taiwan. You can see the central mountains in the middle and the east coast is here on the right side. Let's go a bit closer. You see Taipei is up here. From there we took the train down the east coast to Yilan, Suao, and then further down to Hualien. This is the train we took, the Bohuma Express. Between Suao and Hualien there's a very nice highway, but if you take the train you cannot see much of the scenery because it's all tunnels. There you have Taroko Gorge, for me the best place in Taiwan. And in Hualien we rented a car, this one, the Mitsubishi Colt. Then we went on to Liu Lake, then to Fenglin, Lin Tian Shan, an old logging town, and then to Ruisui, where we spent the night. On the second day we visited a farm there in Ruisui, had some hot pot for lunch, and then we went down the road to Xiulin, where we did some train spotting. Then we went further down to the Walami Trail, a very beautiful trail into the central mountains. And then we spent some time at the Antong Hot Spring Resort, and back to Xiulin we spent the second night at Xiulin. The third day we went to 60-Star Mountain, very beautiful place, and then further down to Changqiao, a place, the town famous for its rice production. This is as far south as we got. You can see Taitung is down there. We didn't go as far south. And if you go further, you can see the islands of Green Island and Lanhui. Those two places we will visit in a few weeks' time. Can't wait for it. And then we went all the way back up to Hualien, returned the car there, and took the train back to Taipei. So it was a 3-day trip, and it was a good one. So the train we took was the Bohuma Express. We took the one at 9:50. It took 2 hours to Hualien and it costs $440 NT dollars. You can see the train was full. You have to make reservations early to get a seat. And there we in Hualien we rented this car, the Mitsubishi Colt, for $1,500 a day, and for gas we spent $1,000 for 3 days. Then we went straight down the road from Hualien to Liu Lake, but before we got to the lake we went to this shop. This is a knife maker, and it's a bit difficult to find, so I show you on Google Map. Here you go down the Highway 9 Bing, and then there's a bridge over the river there, and just shortly after that there's a small road to the right, and let me show you on Google Street View, and then it's all clear. So you come down there, the main road, and there's the small road on the right side, and then you have to drive for about 1 kilometer and you come to the bend there on the road, and then you can maybe see this nice little shop. And the reason why you should go there is because they have very nice knives, hunting knives for used by the Aboriginal people in Taiwan. They're very heavy and very nice, very useful. They also have little small knives as souvenirs, and the sheath they do have nice patterns. So you can see the knife is very nice in the hand, and you feel like a warrior immediately, but be careful. Then we went to the Liu Lake. It's a very beautiful lake, southwest of Hualien, and at the time we went there, they had the black rubber duck sitting there, floating on the water. I'm not sure if it's still there. It's black, not like the yellow ducks you could see elsewhere in Taiwan earlier in the year. And people like it. They like to make pictures there. And you can see the lake is surrounded by mountains. And you can rent paddle boats. And even without the duck, it's a very nice place. You also can rent bicycles. There's a visitor center there, and it's a very lovely scenery there. I'm not sure why they have chosen black for the duck. I think they say black ducks are common in Hualien. I'm not sure about that. It's not a bad duck, as ducks go. Went a little bit up the hill to see it from above, and down there you have this love sign. People like to make photos, selfies, and that's the last picture of Liu Lake. Very nice place. If you are in the Hualien area, check it out. From Liu Lake we went down the Highway 9 to the town called Fenglin, and there we saw this interesting building. It's a tobacco building, so used to store tobacco leaves during the time when they had tobacco production in the area there. So you see, for me it looks a bit like it could be in England, but I'm not sure if England has these kind of houses. So you cannot go inside. Inside, they have stored some stuff in there. Just interesting building to see, because it's not common in Taiwan. And a few 50 meters or so down the road, they have another similar building. This one is actually a guest house, and you can go inside and drink coffee. But interestingly, we didn't see anyone there. So this is inside, you can sit there. And from Fenglin we went down the highway to another place called Lin Tian Shan, an old logging town, and they have old trains there, an old railway. You can go inside and have fun. And Lin Tian Shan is a small place with a lot of houses made of wood, and they have the old railway tracks used for logging there, narrow gauge trains, and you can go inside, make photos. We did make photos there. There's also a wagon behind the locomotive. You can go inside there as well. And then you can see they have these wooden buildings. Looks a bit like a train station, but it's actually an office building of sorts. We did make some photos there as well for the magazine. And they also have a little tower up the hill there. Little tower where you can, from where you can see the railway tracks and the village. It's very clean and quiet. And there are mountains behind, and there's a river behind the houses there. A lovely place, we liked it. And if you go up these stairs, on the right side there's a cafe. And you can go down to the tracks there and have fun, fooling around a bit. And we did make some photos there as well. And then we went further down the valley to... we went to this is close to Lin Tian Shan, is this restaurant which is known for pork trotters. And they also have vegetables and sausages and chicken, and these pork trotters are said to be very good. I'm not sure, I'm not a big fan of pork. And then we went down the highway to the town Ruisui, where we would spend the night. And we spent the night at this place, the Sunshine Hot Spring B&B. By the way, I will post all the information about places where we stay and eat in the description under this video, so you can check it out. And this guest house has a hot spring area in the back. It's very simple, basic, but nice. It's hot, the water is really hot, and they even have a small little waterfall down behind there. And there was no one else there, so we could play around a bit. And it was really hot. You cannot see it on this picture, it was hot. And we had fun as usual. And in color it looks even better. But it's, like I said, it's very basic. And then it was time to rest, and we stayed in this room. Very clean and very simple. And the next morning was great weather. The sun was coming out, and we had breakfast. It's very simple breakfast, sandwiches and coffee. And prepared by this man. This is the owner of the guest house, very friendly man. And they also have tatami style room, Japanese style rooms. Then we went on. We went east of Ruisui to the rafting center there. And behind the rafting center is this dairy farm called JJ Valley Farm. And they have farm animals like ostriches and ponies, lovely ponies. And the ponies at breakfast as well. And right beside the farm is the Xiulin River, and this river is very famous for white water rafting trips. And they started the rafting center we saw earlier. And at the time we went there, there was not much water, but you can raft throughout the year. And then we saw some cows, milk cows. They had breakfast too. Busy eating. And what else? You can rent a bike there. The bikes are not in very good shape, but it's nice. A nice place to go for a little bike ride. And the farm is nothing special if you're used to farms, but if you haven't been close to cows, then it might be something for you. There are also water buffaloes. And then we went back to Ruisui to the railway station, and just beside the railway station is a restaurant, this one, the Bamboo Village Japanese Cuisine. And there we had hot pot and milk hot pot. And because Ruisui is famous for milk, so we had milk hot pot. And this restaurant also in Ruisui serves milk hot pot as well. So that's a specialty you have to try when visiting Ruisui. So you can see the hot pot and the milk. Then we went back on the road and we took the county road 193, and there we saw some farmers planting rice. Very interesting. So they plant rice with this kind of machine. And you will see a lot of rice fields in the valley. That's part of the scenery. And a beautiful part as well. So we saw this farmer planting rice, So we went there early in March, so this was rice planting time. We also saw a lady doing it by hand, much more tiring, I would assume. And you can see the mountains of the central mountain range in the background. Then further down to the town of Xiulin, a very lovely town, and there, south of Xiulin, we went to a bridge, the railway bridge, which is well known among local photographers because it's so lovely red. They have, you can see trains coming there. We waited for 40 minutes or so to saw this one wagon train, one carriage train. It wasn't actually so fast. It was much slower. And then another train came back from the north, this one, and this train was headed for Taitung. And this one was a little bit longer. So this is a famous spot for taking photographs of the train and the fields and the mountains in the background. We also saw some farmers there harvesting cabbage right at the bridge there. And we also saw fields of cornfields. And the nice thing about when there's water on the fields, when the rice is still tiny, then you can see the reflections of the bridge in the water. Very nice. Then we went on Highway 30 down into this place, the Laku Laku River, a very beautiful valley there. And at the same spot is the Nan An waterfall, a lovely waterfall very close to the highway. And this is on the way to the Walami Trail. The Walami Trail, the trailhead is at the end of the highway. And it's a very beautiful area, and the trail is very easy to walk for the first kilometers. But because it was already late afternoon, we only had time to go to this bridge, about 1 kilometer from the trailhead, and very lovely bridge, high up over the valley. We had a little bit fun, as usual, and we checked out the scenery, and it was actually quite high, but I would guess 30 meters above the mountain stream there. And unfortunately, we didn't have time to go further up the mountain. It's a very nice trail. A lot of there are more bridges up there, and also waterfalls. And the scenery is very lovely. So we took photos there of the bridge. And then it was back the highway to the Busan National Park Visitor Center, and right outside the center was this lovely rice field. I like how the rice plants are in line there. And then further back to Xiulin, and we did stop again at the bridge there because the sun was setting and there were nice flower fields. I think it's Garden Cosmos. And there you can see the bridge again. And we did make some more photos there. And the sun was setting, very nice. And you can see the clouds. It was cloudy already. The next day would bring rain, so we were happy that we had some sunshine left for the day. And that's how it looks in the East Rift Valley, very lovely. Then we went to Antong. This is a hot spring town. They have a very old hot spring resort place, which looks very nice on pictures, but it's actually not very well maintained, to be honest. And then we went to this hot spring pool area, and it looks like cold water, but it's actually very hot. And there you can relax and get a water massage, water jet massage. It's a hot water, and I really recommend taking hot spring bath whenever you can on trips in Taiwan. It's so relaxing. And then we went back to Xiulin because we wanted to stay at the Wisdom Garden Guesthouse there. And this is a bit difficult to find, so I show you on the Google again. So there's Xiulin, and this is the highway number 9, the main highway. Then you have to go north of Xiulin until you come to a small road on the left side. And I will show you on Street View. So it's very clear where it is. Because there's no big sign or anything, so it's easy to miss. So you come down this highway and you have to take this little road up across the railway there and then up the mountain, and you come to the Wisdom Garden, which is a very nice guest house. It's almost like a private home, and the owner has prepared this nice breakfast the next day for us. And the rooms are very look like private house rooms, and since the owner is an artist, there are a lot of artworks there, and you can stay in this kind of room. And this is the owner, and she showed us some of her Chinese paintings. Yeah, very nice. From there we went down the highway 9 to 60 Stone Mountain, which is a very beautiful place in Taiwan. But unfortunately, as I said, it was raining this day and we couldn't see much. It was all mist and fog. But we did take some photos there with the help of flashlight. And it was raining, was cold, but still you could imagine how nice it is when the sun is shining. There were very few people there, and these are the daylily fields, which are very nice in July and August. Then we went further down to the town of Zhishan, which is famous for rice production. And then we went to the Dati Hotel, and they sell local rice. And there we had the Zhishan rice lunchbox, which is well known. And they have chicken and pork chop. We also had a bit of tofu and some vegetables. And as dessert we had sponge cake, very nice, made with Zhishan rice, and ice cream, also made with Zhishan rice. From there we went further down to a place called Bolang Da Dao, which means Brown Avenue. This has become a famous tourist attraction because 2 commercials were shot there, one for Mr. Brown Coffee and one for EVA Airways, and this has become a very popular place. It's just basically a small road across the plain with rice fields on both sides, and there is this lovely solitary tree there, which where you can make photos, and as you can see, it was raining. There's our car. It was cold and was windy. It was very unpleasant weather, but we didn't mind. It was still a very lovely place. There you can see how strong the wind was, and the rice, the freshly planted rice. And there you can see the clouds over the mountains. And there were some other people as well. So even during this type of weather, there were tourists there. And it was a weekday on a Wednesday in March, and still they had tourists coming. This was already our last stop for the trip. Typical scenes of the East Rift Valley. At the entrance to this street, they have this kind of public art where you can make photos. And the weather was bad, but there still were people riding bicycles. So these young ladies had fun there. And we had fun too. And then we had to go back to Hualien. We took the car all the way back to Hualien, returned the car, and took the train back to Taipei. And that was our trip. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you have got the idea of what the East Rift weather is like. I can really recommend going there. And hopefully we will go there again when the weather is better. If you want to read more about the East Rift weather, you can read our magazine online, or you can download the iPad app, which is very nice if you have an iPad. And if you like this video, you can like it. And if you want to see more, you can subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.